Hello, my beautiful Leos. Welcome to your January 15th to the 31st energy reading. This is going to be for the collective. So please, Leo, take what does resonate with you. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So you have here two cards that already popped up for you as the overall situation. This is the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. Six of Pentacles is asking you to restore balance in an aspect of your life. This has something to do with your tangible material things. This can even be your time, your energy, your investment. What is it that you're giving too much of? There's this sense of balancing something out. Are you giving too much than what you should? Are you giving too much that you're shortening yourself? So if you think about time and energy, what is it that you are potentially investing your time and energy into that requires for you to kind of bring it back, right? You have here the Four of Swords as well. And the Four of Swords is asking you to put an issue that you might be overthinking about, that you might be trying to find a potential solution to at this very moment. Spirit is asking you to put the swords down, meaning that you need to find some time to kind of like give it a rest, right? To basically take a step back before moving forward so you can see things from a fresher perspective. Okay, so this is about kind of like restoring balance and energizing yourself. So if you have been feeling drained, if you have been feeling really stressed out about something, this is about kind of again restoring that balance so you're able to see things in a more practical way and you're able to manage these, I guess you could say, pentacles in a better way for you, right? So whatever that means for you is obviously different for everybody. Now, I want to go ahead and get into the potential block. So the potential block, I got it right here. I just dropped it, but it is the Two of Wands. So let me grab it for you guys. So the Two of Wands showed up here as your potential block. And this tells me that you need to really focus on organizing yourself and formulating a strategy, a plan that you can follow through with. So this energy is when you're feeling potentially blocked about what it is that you need to do next or how it is that you should potentially handle a situation, okay? But the Two of Wands, regardless, is an energy of moving forward, right? It's an energy of pushing towards a solution, towards a new chapter. It just requires for you to do the research. It requires for you to sit down and really strategize this and put some things in motion. So balancing it out, sometimes needing to take a step back in order so you can see the bigger picture here. So this is not the time to force your way through something. If you have been struggling with the same issue, it's time to take a little bit of a step back, give yourself a mental break, and then revisit the situation with a more level-headed mindset, okay? Now let's go ahead and get into this outcome here. For the outcome, Seven of Swords, okay? And the Seven of Swords can indicate that you are now creating a strategy where you can get away with going towards victory, going towards renewal. The Seven of Swords, too, can indicate that now you're finding out things that might be happening, behind the scenes that you didn't know about. And this gives you essentially this light and it sheds basically the truth, the reality of this is where I stand, okay? Seven of Swords is a tricky energy, but it is about formulating a new strategy. How can you move forward with this? How can you get away with this, so to speak? Also, one thing that you have to be very careful with the Seven of Swords is that it can indicate self-sabotage, okay? So this is where you might not feel like you could do things the right way in order to get away with heading towards victory. So this can be, this underlying energy that makes us act out of character. So you have to be very careful with that as well. So the main message here, Leo, is that you're burned out. Some of you guys are burned out. Some of you guys are stressed too thin. Some of you guys are giving to others more than you give into yourself. That your self-preservation is barely essentially non-existent. And the Two of Wands is asking, well, in order to move forward, you need to figure out a different way. You can't just move forward with the same strategy. It's not going to feel good. Seven of Swords at the end, again, needing to create a strategy, because if not, it can get really tricky on the way that you're moving forward, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get into the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. What else can you tell me about the Seven of Swords here? Okay, so Nine of Wands energy. This is the Wounded Warrior. Nonetheless, though, this energy shows resiliency. It shows willpower, determination. This shows that you can persevere. throughout the difficulty, but it does show the difficulty. It shows the tiredness. It shows the strength that you really have to pull from within yourself in order to get through this, right? And then you have also the Five of Cups, which is interesting. There is some sort of disappointment. And like I said too, with that Seven of Swords, this can indicate certain things coming to the light. You finding out where you stand with certain people, with certain situations, right? So it can feel overwhelming and even disappointing. And then you have here the Fool. The Fool, this is the energy of the new beginning. The Fool is saying detach, free yourself. If you do find out things that don't necessarily serve you, that you feel are, you know, hurtful, that you feel are not good for you, that you feel basically blindsided to, the Fool is saying this is the perfect opportunity to release, okay? To release and to move forward. Now let's go ahead and get into this Two of Wands and see what Spirit wants to advise you with the planning sage essentially in this situation, okay? What do we have, Spirit? Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so Queen of Wands, Leo. I love that the Queen of Wands shows up here. I mean, the number one thing with how you are going to move forward with planning your next step, Spirit is saying it's very important that you stay true to yourself. It's very important that you take a path where you're really, really aligned with your action. Also, the Queen of Wands can symbolize a level of success. This is an accomplishment. This is good fortune coming your way. So I really like that she's showing up there. It's a very, very positive energy. Then you have this Knight of Pentacles. Interestingly enough, it is showing up in the reversal. I typically don't take reversals, but when they show up, I do take them. And the Knight of Pentacles, it could be that there is a long-lasting commitment that, you know, no longer really resonates with you and you're wanting to change the direction on where you're going. And that could be why that Two of Wands is your block, right? And like I said, there's this energy of disbalance. There's this energy that you might be overstretched. You might be, you know, burned out, so to speak, emotionally, mentally, physically, right? And the Four of Swords saying, take a step back so you can see things clearly. Because when you're clouded, when you're tired, when you're not prioritizing rest and restoration, all you're going to do is create a further block. So if whatever you take from this reading is, the most important thing is that if you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are feeling like there's no way out, if you are feeling overstretched, burned out, Spirit is saying find a way to take a moment for yourself. Find a way to really block that out for just one day, for just one night, and find a way for you to be able to, you know what I mean? Like free yourself of the tension for just a few hours, for just a night, for just a day, whatever you can spare, because that's going to give you a level of clarity, okay? And we're going to go ahead and get the final message. Final message. What do we have for Leo? Final message, the World, meaning that something is wrapping up. There is a chapter that's being closed. There's a new phase that's coming into your life, and you are, at the end of the day, the person that has the most authority on how this is going to transpire for you. So this is a good energy. Whatever comes to the surface that might feel hurtful, that might caught you off guard, that you might not think someone would have done that to you, this is where you know where you stand, and now it allows you to shed the weight and you are able to embrace a new chapter in your life. Okay, so with that being said, my beautiful Leos, let me know if this resonates with you. If it did, drop me a comment down below, like and subscribe if you do want to support my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.